Long ago, India was colonized by the British. What began as just trade through the East India Company slowly turned into complete control. Colonization wasn't only about ruling territory, it was about reshaping society, languages, and knowledge systems with British ones. Over generations, this created hierarchies of language, skin color, and intelligence that quietly settled into everyday life. Then came 1947, the year the British left, the year we were told we were finally free. But that's where my question begins. Hello, I'm Sia. This is me going through my everyday life in the bustling city of Chennai in India. I've grown up hearing that 1947 was the year we became free, and politically, that's true. But more I paid attention to the world around me, the more I began to notice something else. The way we admire Western accents, the way lighter skin is still treated as more beautiful, the way foreign approval often feels more valuable than our own. These aren't coincidences, they're traces of something deeper. It's called colonial mentality, the internalized belief that Western culture and language are superior to our own. And it's so subtle that we often don't realize it's shaping how we think, judge, and see ourselves. So, this video asks a simple question. Was 1947 freedom, or was it only the beginning of it? Colonial mentality did not just appear out of nowhere, it shows up in small, ordinary moments. Like, ask yourself, would you wear a kurta to the airport or would you save it for a festival? Why does Western clothing feel more normal in everyday spaces while traditional wear feels more occasional? These choices don't come from nowhere, they were shaped long before us. 1935, Macaulay introduced an education system meant to create people who were Indian by birth but British in thought. Indigenous languages and knowledge were slowly pushed aside. Even today, media continues that lesson in ads, films, and magazines that quietly tell us what beauty and confidence should look like. Over time, these messages don't feel imposed, they feel normal. And that's the power of colonial mentality. It teaches us to adjust ourselves before anyone even asks us to. But noticing these moments matter because if colonization trained us to admire something outside ourselves, then decolonizing the mind begins when we start questioning why. And that questioning is already happening. Campaigns like No Bindi, No Business challenge the idea that traditional beauty has to be hidden to be taken seriously. This campaign was started during the festival of Diwali, when ads started advertising Diwali clothing without even the basic cultural mark like a bindi. And that's why they remind us that cultural markers like a bindi don't make us less professional or less modern. These movements aren't about rejecting the world, they're about rejecting the idea that we need to erase ourselves to belong in it. Decolonizing the mind does not happen all at once. It happens in small choices, in what we wear, in the language we value, in who we choose to admire. 1947 gave us independence. Freedom, maybe, is something we continue to build.